Indivior's vision, providing access to addiction treatment to all patients. Indivior's mission, pioneering life-transforming treatments and breaking down treatment barriers. Indivior's focus, healthcare professionals, public health community, policymakers, payers, you.
When I started investigating the disease space, I knew it was an area that I wanted to be involved in, an area where I really thought we could make a difference. I had the privilege and the opportunity to meet with Christine on my first interview, and she described a culture that I knew I really wanted to be a part of.
Was something in me just really drew me to want to work more with Suboxone. I knew there wasn't enough education. I knew there was more to be done. I had met the company and I just believed in their message and what they were trying to achieve. And I was like, you know what? I could really stand behind this. Like, I really think there's more work to be done.
What drew me to Indivior was my interest in addiction. My PhD was actually in addiction medicine. So the opportunity to help and to work with professionals who are looking to treat opioid use disorder, you know, it was a very interesting and challenging opportunity.
I think right now the biggest challenge is reducing the stigma. Even as we heard, we had a speaker yesterday and he talked about that, how it could be somebody who's laying in the streets or somebody laying in downtown Toronto on their $10,000 couch, that opioid use disorder can affect anybody and everybody. So I think the biggest thing we can do as a company is reduce the stigma about who these patients are.
Impactful moment for me was when we worked on Project Hope. Project Hope was a program for primary care for family health teams across southwestern Ontario. 25 family health teams adopted this program, and this opened great access for care for opioid use disorder within the primary care setting for patients. So when we actually started to get feedback from patients and physicians on how well the program was working, I knew that myself and the company had done a wonderful job.
Focus on the patient for the decisions that we make, and it's essentially all about the patient for me. So everything that I do, I hope comes back to being a positive for the patient.
Being able to open up access to treatment in Canada, and also being able to see the transition of the patient not doing so well, and then doing very well and rebuilding their life.
So many impactful moments. There's small ones where you're talking with an individual and you see that there's a lot of discrimination against somebody who has addiction. And when you really advocate for one individual, seeing the light bulb moment in someone's eyes that they don't need judgment, they need treatment, they need understanding.
I think if what we all need to continue to do is to be there, not supporting our physicians in education, but also partnering with them and helping them understand that they're not alone. It's very important to continue to educate them into future treatments and how to manage patient care.
Focus on the patients to drive our decisions, I think, is the one that's they're all important, but it's the one that perhaps I connect with the most, and making sure that in every decision we make and every challenging decision we make, we first and foremost think of a patient and the people that we're helping.
My favorite Indivior guiding principle is see it, own it, make it happen. And it's not something I just apply to work, but to my life on a daily basis.
This guiding principle certainly defines our company as a whole, but if I speak for the Canadian organization, we have climbed mountains to make everything possible from day one.
I think the number one thing that we can do moving forward is to keep the patients and their families in focus. There are so many people who are affected by this opioid crisis from all walks of life, and I never want to lose sight of that patient or their family.
I'm hoping that Indivior becomes synonymous with moving impediments out of the way for patients and their families, whether that's stigma or access or bringing wonderful cures like Sublocade.
We have an amazing opportunity in front of us now with the approval of Sublocade. It really is going to change the way that we think about treatment and potentially also change the whole landscape in the healthcare system. So if there ever was a time where an organization could step in and lead the way and make a real change for people, I think this is it.
Focus on you, the year you're about to have, the hard work you put in every day, the real value you provide to the public health. Focus on you.